Where's Raphael's tomb? Langdon thought for a moment, trying to get his bearings. He surveyed the circumference of the room. Tombs, altars, pillars, niches. He motioned to a particularly ornate funerary across the dome and to the left. I think that's Raphael's over there. Vittoria scanned the rest of the room. I don't see anyone who looks like an assassin about to kill a cardinal. Shall we look around? Langdon nodded. There's only one spot in here where anyone could be hiding. We better check the re-entrance. The recesses? Yes. Langdon pointed. The recesses in the wall. Around the perimeter, interspersed with the tombs, a series of semicircular niches were hewn in the wall. The niches, although not enormous, were big enough to hide someone in the shadows. Sadly, Langdon knew they once contained statues of the Olympian gods, but the pagan sculptures had been destroyed when the Vatican converted the Pantheon to a Christian church. He felt a pang of frustration to know he was standing at the first altar of science, and the marker was gone. He wondered which statue it had been, and where it had pointed. Langdon could imagine no greater thrill than finding an Illuminati marker, a statue that surreptitiously pointed the way down the path of illumination. Again he wondered who the anonymous Illuminati sculptor had been. I'll take the left arc, Vittoria said, indicating the left half of the circumference. You go right. See you in 180 degrees. Langdon smiled grimly. As Vittoria moved off, Langdon felt the eerie horror of the situation seeping back into his mind. As he turned and made his way to the right, the killer's voice seemed to whisper in the dead space around him. 8 o'clock. Virgin sacrifices on the altars of science. A mathematical progression of death. 8, 9, 10, 11. And at midnight. Langdon checked his watch, 7:52. 8 minutes. As Langdon moved toward the first recess, he passed the tomb of one of Italy's Catholic kings. The sarcophagus, like many in Rome, was askew with the wall, positioned awkwardly. A group of visitors seemed confused by this. Langdon did not stop to explain. Formal Christian tombs were often misaligned with the architecture so they could lie facing east. It was an ancient superstition that Langdon's Symbology 212 class had discussed just last month. That's totally incongruous. A female student in the front had blurted when Langdon explained the reason for east-facing tombs. Why would Christians want their tombs to face the rising sun? We're talking about Christianity, not sun worship. Langdon smiled, pacing before the blackboard, chewing an apple. Mr. Hitzrott! He shouted. A young man dozing in back sat up with a start. What? Me? Langdon pointed to a Renaissance art poster on the wall. Who is that man kneeling before God? Some saint? Brilliant. And how do you know he's a saint? He's got a halo? Excellent, and does that golden halo remind you of anything? Hitzrott broke into a smile. Yeah. Those Egyptian things we studied last term. Those. Sun disks. Thank you, Hitzrott. Go back to sleep. Langdon turned back to the class. Halos, like much of Christian symbology, were borrowed from the ancient Egyptian religion of sun worship. Christianity is filled with examples of sun worship. Excuse me? The girl in front said. I go to church all the time, and I don't see much sun worshipping going on. Really?